Now, there are a number of derivations of the AirCam showing up now. Obviously, floats are a big thing. Can you talk about some of the variations you've seen for the AirCam?
Yeah, well, that's kind of a story in itself, because initially I was not interested in the float market because I was certain that if we put floats on it, it wouldn't fly on one engine. And I saw it as a curiosity, something that a few people would do regardless. And sure enough, we had some customers put them on floats. The first one that I flew on floats with full Lotus floats with 582s. And I was amazed that it did fly on one engine. We started to realize that we were getting lift off the floats. And at our low speed, the trade-off of lift to drag was actually pretty good. And that was making up for the weight of them, and we had better single-engine performance than the math would say we should have. Then we put the 912S-powered one on. At that time, they were Murphy floats, amphibious. And I thought, no, this is just going to be really bad. I mean, it's too much weight. And funnily enough, the thing flew on one engine. I went out with Richard Johnson, who is a friend of mine and a seaplane instructor, and we shut one engine off on the water we probably had about half fuel, a little more than half fuel. Two of us on board, shut one off, and tried to take off on one engine. And we were able to get it up on the step. I'm like, wow, that's amazing, first off. And then lift the float, and then get it in the air and climb out of ground effect. When we did that, I said, we've got something here. This is more than just a curiosity. This is a real twin-engine float plane.
Well, in addition to the duty that it did for the National Geographic Society and their photographers, the aircraft's been used in a number of roles.
Sure. There's a group using them for whale research. They have an AirCam just dedicated to that. We have one of our customers has two AirCams, and he does water sampling at the Adirondack Park, and he's actually looking at how the water is being affected by acid rain. We've got one in Namibia that the Bartlett's own. I mean, this guy's doing filming of the country for books. I mean, all kinds of different applications.
Didn't they play a law enforcement role at one point as well?
We had some guys look at that, but never really managed to make a good inroad into that market.
Cirrus Design's Vision SJ50 single-engine personal jet offers exceptional fuel efficiency, flexible seating for up to 7, advanced avionics, and all the Cirrus safety features you expect, including the Cirrus airframe parachute system. With its V-tail design, the Cirrus Vision is technologically advanced, yet engineered to be simple to fly, to allow owner pilots more lifestyle pursuits than any other personal aircraft. Learn more about the Vision SJ50 at cirrusdesign.com.
One of the things that's particularly delightful about this aircraft is, I mean, it's as open as it gets. But this is a low and slow tour with a tremendous amount of safety. If you want to just go cruise through territory that normally you wouldn't want to fly a single engine over, the twin, gives you that much added satisfaction and safety. There have been some really masterful adventures on the part of AirCam owners.
Sure. We had, now, you're talking about an airplane that is normally used for local flying. I mean, I've had many very enjoyable flights where I landed at the same place I took off. Go fly around, see things, have fun. But yes, we do have a number of customers that have made some eventful cross countries up into Alaska. We've got one customer who flew his AirCam from Washington State all the way down here to Florida, taking his time just hopping and landing wherever and checking out the local history and cuisine. When he got here, we did an annual on his airplane. Then he flew out into the Bahamas, flew around the Caribbean, found a nice island, and had his girlfriend fly out and meet him there for a week. And then he flew back to Washington. He said he had a great time. Those are the kinds of adventures that... and that guy has a fast airplane. I mean, many of our AirCam owners have turboprops, light jets, and they're flying the AirCam for fun. That's their fun airplane. We had a couple of guys write about the path that Lewis and Clark took as they went across the country, and they actually filmed it from 500 feet and wrote books about it, and they were quite good. Yeah, very good.
What's the future for the AirCam? Where do you take it from here?
Well, we're continuing to make a number of improvements. Initially, because I didn't think that the floats would work as well as they did, we didn't actually engineer the rear attachment points. We had about 22,000 hours of engineering into the AirCam project when the kit went into full production. Really quite a bit of time. Every major component in the airplane was engineered. We did put a dual bulkhead at the back of the baggage compartment for floats, and that made it easy for people to put them on floats, but we never actually engineered all the attachments. We've done that recently, spent a lot of time on that, and we have a very nicely engineered float package, so I think that's a big improvement in the new airplanes.
You've heard of this thing called WAAS, right? The Wide Area Augmentation System lets you fly GPS glide path approaches without relying on ground-based landing aids. No VOR, no ILS, no problem. Fact is, WAAS is so smart, it even knows what you're going to say next time you need it. And don't have it on board. Wah, wah, I want my WAAS now! I was really crying there for a second.
We are working on a way to flow the airflow around the back seat like the front seat. Because as you know, when you're sitting in the front seat, you can be going 100 miles per hour and there's almost no wind on you. I mean, standing on the ramp with a little bit of a wind, you got more air on you than you do flying in the front seat. But in the back seat, you get some airflow. So we're trying to come up with some aerodynamic devices that will flow that air around you and give you that. And compared to a Stearman or a lot of open cockpit airplanes, it's great. But compared to the front seat, there's still more air in the back. Going to work on a full enclosure. We have designed a new 914 turbocharged engine mount package for those guys on floats, because some of them want to fly at higher altitudes, and there the power comes in handy. And those have reverse pitch constant speed props, so you'll be able to back it up, actually spin it around. Ed McNeil's got the first one of those going together right now. And we've made some improvements to the 912S motor mounts. Now, some people will say, wait a minute, you guys had 914s way back in the beginning. And we did, but this is a whole new package which is using the standard ring mount, and the engine is stock without any modifications. Got a new exhaust system now, new panels. So, I mean, we've made a lot of improvements.
I hate to ask this part, but there's going to be people out there who are going to go, whoa, cool, I got to have one, I want one. But how much? What's it take to build an AirCam these days?
I think by the time you buy the airframe package and the complete engine package, you're looking at about $100,000. And it is a very complete package. I mean, it includes things like the upholstery, the brakes, it's all dual controls. It's a very thorough, all the fabric, a lot of things that you wouldn't expect in a kit.
You designed it, it's been your baby, but you have to have your own perfect AirCam moment. What's your best flight in an AirCam?
I'd have to say flying in southeastern Utah when we did the promotional video. And that was just fantastic, flying through those canyons and around Lake Powell. That is probably the best flying I've ever done.
Lots and twists and turning, I take it?
Oh, yeah. Well, the AirCam is great at flying slow and flying through canyons. You have the visibility. You have the ability to maneuver at very low speeds because you're lightly loaded on the wing. So, yeah. And then, of course, you don't worry about an engine failure. One of the canyons that you fly down the canyon, so losing an engine is cakewalk. I mean, you just fly right on out.
Well, Phil, I have to tell you, as I said, we've had so much fun with this airplane. We look forward to seeing more and more of them in the future, and somewhere, somehow, someday, we got to do one of these for ourselves.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jim. Appreciate it.